Price. I am a Northwest Florida State College nursing student. I've been a registered nurse for about the past year, and the majority of that time I've been working in the intensive care unit, which brings me to the organization. It's the American Association of Critical Care Nurses, and we're going to learn a little bit more about it today. So you might be wondering, what is Aacn? It's for critical care or acute care nurses. It's a non-for-profit organization, and it's a place where they have created standards and guidelines for critical care, along with just sharing general knowledge and, more importantly, bringing up new challenges that we're facing in this profession and creating new solutions for it. A lot of the ways they're doing that is by finding things for evidence-based practice, finding out where we're struggling at and where we could be better. A little bit about the history of the Aacn. It was actually founded in 1969, and at the time it was called the American Academy of Cardiovascular Nursing. ICUs were really coming into their own, and it was kind of cowboy nursing in a sense, if you want to say that. There were no standards of care or guidelines that were generalized throughout all the hospitals across America. They were just finding out what some of their issues in developing practices. And then later on in 1971, they became the American Association of Critical Care Nursing, what it is today. And they found, they made more of a shift to more about patient focus and family, more importantly. Because at the time, whenever you have a patient in the ICU, it's not only about educating the family or the patient, it's more about the family and their cultures and learning more about how they learn so they can have a better understanding of what's going on, because it's a very confusing time for everyone. It's a place where you can get free continuing education for things like renewing your license. In Florida, you have to have so many hours of continuing education. But where I'm at now in Colorado, you actually don't have to have continuing education, but you do have to have it for your job. Like in my hospital, I have to have so many hours a year if I want to be in a position to advance in nursing. Say I want to become a charge nurse or a preceptor, I still have to meet that requirement of so many continuing education classes a year. And a lot of states are like that. It also has free access to journals so you can read up on the newest practices and recommendations for critical care or acute care. They give you lists of conferences around the United States that you can go to, and if you remember, you actually get discounts on going to those conferences. And certifications, like say you want to become a critical care nurse, you have to take a really hard test to do that, and it gives you a lot of tools and practice quizzes and questions to help you better prepare for it. It is also a place where if you found along the path of becoming a critical care nurse, some of the challenges, you can talk to other nurses that have gone through it, and maybe you won't have to go, it won't be as challenging for you knowing those pitfalls that they might have faced. It also, like I said, has toolkits for different areas in critical care. It shows you like the latest evidence-based practices and a lot of other, it's just a wealth of great information because everything in nursing is ever changing. So this brings you the most latest information, that way you stay current as well. Or if you just want to check it out, you can go to www.aacn.org. You can create an account, and to become a member, it's for a student, if you're even in your bachelor's or master's or doctorate, it's only $52 a year. And if you're a retired nurse and you still just want to keep learning more about the profession, it's only $52. But if you're an active nurse, it's $78 a year, which really isn't that much if you think about all the discounts you get for the conferences and for the continued education that we have to pay for anyway, and you get all this other, you'd have to pay for it anyway, so you have all this other extra information that you wouldn't need. You to go out there, as a nurse, we always want to become part of these associations or organizations, because when we come together, we find out that it's a common thread of issues that we're having. And the only way to get those to go away or to find better practices is if we come together and figure it out what has worked for us or what's worked for them, and then create a standardized or guideline for all of us. It's a great source of information. I hope you have time to check it out. Thank you so much for listening.